MSNBC analyst crushes Joe Scarborough's elation over SCOTUS ruling. He said the order is a win for Trump, which it is. It is a win for Trump. This order saying that they have to basically go back and reevaluate this case with this guy with the guy that got sent over to El Salvador. So it's interesting. We already see the papers, even in the clip they show the headlines that's going on around this, where they try to make it like Trump lost, but actually this is an actual win for Trump. And I'll just let the analyst break it down and explain why it is an actual win for Trump. So we'll play the clip in a minute. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this important information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from American Wire News, and they report what appeared to be a loss for the Trump administration was actually a win, according to MSNBC legal analyst Danny Cavellos. On Thursday, the Supreme Court ostensibly ruled 9-0 against the Trump administration in an order requiring the administration to facilitate the return flight of a Maryland illegal alien who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador's notorious CCOT prison. Responding to the ruling Friday morning, MSNBC host Joe Scarborough celebrated it as a win for anti-Trumpers. So let's just get right to the clip here. Oops. What is going on here? Oh no, sorry about this, y'all. This is tripping. Okay, here we go. All right.
Facilitate the return of Garcia. And again, this wasn't 5-4. I must say, I expected this to be a 5-4 decision. I was that cynical. But once again, unsigned, which means 9-0. So talk about the impact of this decision last night in particular, but the two taken together this week and what it means.
Yeah, let's start with the decision last night. The order is a win for the Trump administration, and at least that's how they're going to play it. Here's what I mean. A real win for Garcia would have been an order that says, hey, administration, I hear the Salvadorian president's going to be here Monday. Put Garcia on the plane, seated next to him in a reclining seat, and he better be here Monday with the president. That would have been a clear win. The reason I say this, the administration is going to call this a win, is there's
excuse me, it wasn't that. It wasn't that, though. That's not what they said. Watch how he breaks down what the courts is actually saying and what Trump can do about it. This is very interesting. Here we go.
There's a lot of space, a lot of loophole potential in this order. Consider this. One of the lines that we put up there on the screen was that the court ordered him to be returned, or excuse me, to facilitate his return so his case could be handled as if it was properly handled. Remember, the 2019 order for Garcia by an immigration judge just really prevented his return to El Salvador.
There you have it. That's where it is right there. It said it was a 2019 order to send him back, but not to El Salvador, because he's here illegally initially. He's been here illegally. He should have got shipped back way back in the day. He never got shipped back, but the order says anywhere except for El Salvador, where he is right now. So listen to the rest of this. Check this out.
In theory, any of the other 193 countries out there might be perfectly all right. And if it's...
See, there you have it. They can send him to almost anywhere else. Anywhere except for the United States and El Salvador, pretty much.
Case was handled the way it should have been, that could still result in his removal. And then there's even bigger wiggle room for the administration in the language with one word: effectuate. Yes, the lower court's order remains in place. The administration has to effectuate his return, but the court has to clarify, what does it mean by effectuate? I guarantee you, and here I am saying it now, the administration is going to say that whatever the district court clarifies effectuate means, the administration is going to say, well, guess what? We say you don't have the power to order us to do that because you're essentially ordering us to engage in international relations, which you, an Article 3 court, another branch of the government, cannot order us to do. And we're going to be right back here.
There you have it there. They can't facilitate, because they would have to negotiate with El Salvador to bring this guy back. And they can't do that. A court cannot make the federal government go out and do working internationally like that. That's not what that's not what that court is there for. That's stepping outside of their jurisdiction. So there you have it there.
Where we were this last week as this goes back up through the courts. I will just say, Joe, you're exactly right. Taken together, the two Supreme Court cases over the last week or so do stand for the idea that people subject to removal are entitled to due process. But sometimes even due process can be relatively hollow, because as long as they give them that notice and as long as they give them that hearing, arguably these folks can still be removed. So yes, a win for due process, but I promise you, hear me now, the administration will call this a win for themselves, or at least that's how they'll play their hand.
There you have it. It's a win. It's a win. No matter how they try to, the media, we seen the clips on there where they were showing the mainstream media headlines and stuff like that. We saw the headlines there. They try to portray it like Trump lost. In actuality, Trump really didn't win. He could still deport this guy. It really was not. It's really not a win for illegal aliens here in this country, no matter how they try to spin it, which is very, very interesting to me. So I think what the Trump administration is going to do is they're not going to do anything, because the court really doesn't have the jurisdiction to tell them to go negotiate with another country. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.